announcing the arrival of Yang Berbahagia Dr. Mahendra Singh, son of Nahar Singh, Director of Sports Division Ministry of Education Malaysia, accompanied by Yang Berbahagia Professor Emeritus Datuk Dr. Ibrahim Ahmad Bajonit and Yang Bursa Dr. Sazali Yusof to the official opening ceremony of International Conference on Future Education, IConFEd 2018. Ladies and gentlemen, please remain standing for the national anthem, Negaraku. Ladies and gentlemen, please be seated.
A very good morning to our distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. Yang Berbahagia, Dr. Mahendra Singh, son of Nahar Singh, Director of Sports Division, Ministry of Education Malaysia, representing the Director General of Education Malaysia. Yang Berbahagia, Professor Emeritus Datuk Dr. Ibrahim Ahmad Bajonit, President of the Malaysian Society for Educational Administration and Management, MSIM. Yang Berusaha, Dr. Sazali Yusof, Director Institute of Teacher Education, Tuanku Bainun Campus, Secretariat of IConFEd 2018. Ladies and gentlemen, the participants and the presenters of IConFEd 2018. On behalf of the organizers of IConFEd 2018, we would like to extend our warmest welcome to all of you to the official opening ceremony of the International Conference on the Future Education, IConFEd 2018. We would also like to officially welcome our international presenters and participants in particular to Penang, Malaysia, also popularly known as Pearl of the Orient.
Ladies and gentlemen, to begin our ceremony this morning, as well as to pray for blessing, we would like to invite Al-Fadil, Dr. Ahmad Sukari bin Muhammad, to recite the prayer.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh and good morning. Al-Fatiha. A'udzu billahi minasy syaithanir rajim. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Iyyaka na'budu wa iyyaka nasta'in. A'udzu billahi minasy syaithanir rajim. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alamin, hamdan yuafi ni'amahu yukafi mazidah. Ya Rabbana lakal hamdu kama yanbaghi li jalali wajhikal karim wa azim sultanik. Allahumma salli ala Sayyidina Muhammadin tibbil qulubi wa dawaiha wa afiyatil abdani wa shifaiha wa nuril absari wa dhiyaiha wa ala alihi wa sahbihi wa barik wa sallim. Oh Allah, have mercy on us. Forgive our sins and shortcomings. Forgive our parents, our teachers, and all our brothers and sisters. Ya Rahman, Ya Rahim, we gather here today in remembrance of you and to be thankful to you for all that you have bestowed upon us. Accept us as your humble servants. Ya Sattaru, Ya Alim, give us your endorsement and guidance. Guide us towards success, peace, excellence, and safety in this world and the hereafter. We ask from you, O Allah, to strengthen our brotherhood, to unite all our hearts and efforts. Give us the strength to be better human beings. Give us iman and taqwa, humility and sincerity in amal. We are indeed very thankful for today's international conference on the future of education, IConFEd 2018. Grace our meeting today as the meeting of your faithful servants. Open our hearts and minds so that we can share and learn from one another. Guide us to the right path so that we can help others to achieve success and prosperity and guide us to the betterment of the future education. اللهم إنك تعلم أن هذه القلوب قد اجتمعت على محبتك والتقت على طاعتك وتوحدت على دعوتك وتعاهدت على نصرة شريعتك فوثق اللهم رابطتها وأنودها واهدها سبلها واملأها بنورك الذي لا يخبو واشرح صدورها بفيض الإيمان بك وجميل التوكل عليك وأحيها بمعرفتك وأمتها على الشهادة في سبيلك فيا نعم المولى ويا نعم النصير. ربنا آتنا في الدنيا حسنة وفي الآخرة حسنة وقنا عذاب النار. سبحان ربك رب العزة عما يصفون وسلام على المرسلين والحمد لله رب العالمين.
Thank you, Al-Fadil Ustaz, for the prayer recitation.
Ladies and gentlemen, we now call upon Yang Berusaha, Dr. Sazali Yusuf, Director, Institute of Teacher Education, Tuanku Bainun Campus, to deliver his welcoming speech.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Thank you, Mr. Eng Leng Tek, Puan Dayang, and thank you also to Dr. Sukari for leading the doa recitation. Yang berbahagia Dr. Mihander Singh, son of Nahar Singh. Yang berbahagia Professor Emeritus Datuk Dr. Ibrahim Bajunid, President MSEM, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh, and very good morning. It gives me a great pleasure to welcome you and host you for this inaugural conference. We name it as IConFEd 2018. The 3-day event will mark another milestone in the world of academia. It is hoped that the event will be a joyful celebration where people from all over the world gather here on this beautiful island with one objective in mind: to discuss the future of a better education. We will discuss that education has always been the basic key element in developing the human capital for the 21st century. Nation building can never be go wrong if we are able to put the right footing in our education system. I would like to express my appreciation to the presenters and chairpersons of all the sessions. I believe that the quality of the presentations and the papers for this conference will be of a high standard and quality. Our sincere thanks to our keynote speakers, Professor Emeritus Dr. Ibrahim Ahmad Bajunid, Professor Glenda Crosling, Professor Jonathan Newton, Professor Dr. Pradip Khanna, and also Assistant Professor Maistrit in Prasita from Thailand. I hope all of these presenters will share their valuable experience with us and will give us their beautiful, their experience, their insight, their recommendations for all the participants of this conference. Last but not least, I would like to offer my sincere thanks to all the members of the organizing committee from IPGK Tuanku Bainun and MSEM. For your information, we have received more than 400 papers for this conference from 26 countries, as far as from the United Kingdom, New Zealand, Australia, Morocco, Uzbekistan, Turkey, and of course countries nearby, Singapore, Indonesia, Thailand, Myanmar, Maldives, and India, Pakistan, Iran, even in the war-torn country, Iraq will be represented in this conference. Saudi Arabia, UAE, Oman. These are some countries that will be coming here and present their papers in this conference. And I would also like to record my appreciation to all sponsors, particularly Yayasan Hasanah, LibEd, and myself. Without their sponsorship, I think this conference will not be successfully organized. Finally, on behalf of the organizing committee and the Institute of Teacher Education Malaysia, I'm indeed happy to thank all the participants, presenters, and moderators of IConFEd 2018. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Sazali Yusuf, for that heartwarming welcoming speech just now.
Honorable guests, ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, please join us in welcoming Yang Berbahagia Dr. Mahinder Singh, Director of Sports Division, Ministry of Education Malaysia, representing Director General of Education Malaysia, to deliver his opening speech.
A very good morning, most honorable masters of ceremony, honorable Professor Emeritus Dr. Ibrahim Ahmad Bajunid, my colleague Dr. Sazali Yusuf, Director of Teacher Education Institute, Tuanku Bainun Campus, Penang, Directors and Deputy Directors of Teacher Education Institutes, keynote speakers, colleagues from foreign educational institutions and local educational institutions, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. Firstly, I would like to convey the apologies of the Director General of Education. Due to unforeseen circumstances, he's not being able to be with us this morning. And in that context, I would like to thank the organizers for allowing me to represent the Director General of Education and to officiate at the opening ceremony of the International Conference on the Future of Education 2018 today, with the theme enhancing teacher quality for better education. It is a great pleasure to be here. Of course, whenever you get this slight opportunity to be in Penang. Please allow me, on behalf of the Ministry of Education, to extend a warm welcome to all the participants and educators from around the world who are present here today. I'm told, picked up from the speech by Dr. Zazali, there are representatives from 25 countries? 23? 26 countries. I think we should give them a hand, all those who have made their way here. I'm not sure if Professor Emeritus Dr. Ibrahim will agree, but somehow I find that along the way in the last 10 years, conferences have suddenly lost, and because everything comes from the University of Google. Since the emergence of the University of Google, conferences have taken second fiddle to everything else. But I think I would like to commend my colleague, Dr. Zazali, for continuing, and I would like to make this request very early in my speech that please continue with this legacy of this conference that is being hosted by Tuanku Bainun Teacher Education Institute. Many a time, we find that certain legacies of an institute will just move away or go away, or will sink when there's a change or when the leader retires. I believe that that should not be happening, because some good things, some good symbols, or some good identities or branding of an educational institute should continue. This conference, I believe, covers a wide range of very interesting sub-themes on teachers and education, which happens to be the center of discussion in most, in the media, especially even in Malaysia. And just last week, someone was saying that when it comes to education, everybody has an opinion. In Malaysia, we say, please allow me, the makcik who's selling kuih will also be able to give her opinion or her one or two ideas about education. Makcik selling kuih, for our colleagues from overseas, it's a lady who's selling cookies, you know. So everyone has an opinion about education. And so there are many platforms that provide us opportunities for deliberation. Some are worldwide issues, challenges, and opportunities concerning teacher quality. And of course, when we mention teacher quality, it becomes a norm to compare what happened in the 60s and the 70s and the teachers of today. Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, teaching is, first and foremost, a cultural activity, and notions of teacher quality have changed over time as our society has shifted its values and concerns. Moreover, at any given time, different individuals and groups can hold very different ideas about teacher quality. A piece of information or news went viral recently during the World Cup, because there were pictures of the Japanese after they had left their dressing room at the World Cup. And the room was cleaner than the time they went into the room. So we're talking about values here, and these are values that are always questioned. How do you actually convey? And in last week, in one of our meetings, I finally mentioned that can we actually teach values? Are values taught or caught? So these are points of deliberation for teachers, and I'm sure everyone has got many opinions. Therefore, defining teacher quality is no simple task, because the criteria for doing so vary from person to person, from one community to another, and from one era to the next. We could examine teacher quality in terms of knowledge, skills, abilities, and dispositions of teachers. can we come up with an equation that equates good teaching is equal to a good teacher? A lot of my colleagues, when they mention, since I'm in sports, they mention about PE teachers of the 60s, and the image that comes, if it's a Sikh, he's with a white turban, with a white t-shirt and a white pants, white socks, and even white shoes. That's the image. And today you do not see that. Of course, these are values that you hold on to. When you see a PE teacher, you want to have that sort of branding of that PE teacher. So these are, again, lots of things that we look over time that have changed, and change is inevitable. We have to accept those. One popular definition for teacher quality is the one that focuses on high moral character. Teachers are often expected to be good role models for students and to represent the highest of social standards. Another definition of teacher quality emphasizes a broader range of personality and character traits, such as curiosity, enthusiasm, and compassion. And I always mention sample size 1 sometimes in meetings because my wife is a teacher. So I have to always lend my ear at the end of the day, so you know what that means, right? And please do not offend, do not object, agree to everything they say, and it will be fine. And of course, when they make statements like, you people up there in the ministry don't know what's happening on the ground. And you have to agree with that also, otherwise you're in trouble. However, I believe the preferred definition of teacher quality dealt in this conference is a definition that focuses on teacher skills, which will accordingly also address all other issues, including personality traits. Dr. Ibrahim, you know, we had that program with Houston, and one of our professors was Dr. Thomas Halbert, and he always drilled this into us. If you want to be a teacher, you must like children. If you do not like children, then you are not meant to be there. That is a prerequisite. You must like children. And the other thing that he often mentioned to us was, with children, you tell, and you tell, and you tell, and you tell. So you have to keep telling. So these are some of the challenges we all probably will face and have faced in our teaching careers. Pursuing the idea of the teacher with technical skills, current researchers are more interested to focus on observing teachers in their classrooms to see how well they are in implementing specific curricula, and later to document specific teaching practices that seem to be associated with gains in students' test scores. And that's a difficult thing to move away from. In Malaysia, we have been so bogged up in the last 20 years with grades. And every year, when the public exam results are out, it's all about A's, and we are slowly moving away, inching away from it now, and trying to bring back the focus on the philosophy of education in Malaysia that is for a development of a holistic child. Of course, it is a challenge because if the teachers are changing, but the parents are still very concerned with the grades. Well, grades are important, but I think at the end of the day, what an education system would focus on is having a good citizen. This has led to debatable issues as to whether student achievement should be accepted as the main criterion of teacher quality. And of course, this is again for debate, but most of us will agree, as mentioned by the African proverb, I believe, it takes a village to raise a child. So everything cannot be left to the teacher alone. School is a microcosm of society. Many things begin at home. So the role of parents and societies, for the benefit of our foreign guests, in Malaysia, none of us would be naughty in the 60s and the 70s, especially around your village, because word will get back to your parents that you are naughty, and your dad and your parents will not ask. And even if you did something wrong in school, no parent will go and confront the teacher because parents believe that you must have done something wrong for your teacher to punish you. But that has slowly moved away now. Now parents question teachers more than the children. Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, a quality teacher, I believe, should understand how children learn and develop and can provide learning opportunities that support the intellectual, social, and personal development. Of course, what was meaningful in the 70s and knowledge of the 60s and maybe even the 80s has changed over time. We have to look at what are the new findings. Someone was in my office, a consultant, and she was telling me that if children roll, it helps develop the hardware of the brain as compared to the software. So I said, okay, I'm in sports, I will believe in many things because the physiology of the body is equally important for the development of the mental aspect of the child, the cognitive development of the child. A quality teacher should understand how learning occurs, how students construct knowledge, acquire skills, and develop habits of mind, and should know how to use instructional strategies that promote student learning. A quality teacher should appreciate individual variation with each area of development. The teacher should assess individual and group performance in order to design instruction that meets learners' current needs in each domain and that lead to the next level of development. We always believe that the cognitive development is the most important. In my 10th year of teaching, I was in a school in one state in Malaysia. Its town was called Hutan Melintang. And I was teaching one of the last classes. And in Malaysia, you have this fun fair day or canteen day. And this we had, we opened up a stall to sell food, and all my students were involved. The reason why I'm sharing this story is what actually sometimes matters to children. I am quite good in making chapatis, so I took the role of rolling the chapatis. My students did all the rest. Long story short, I was transferred back to Kuala Lumpur from that state. And after a few months, I received a letter from one of my students. And she wrote, you know, in Bahasa Malaysia, sir, do you remember that during the canteen day, we opened up a stall and we sold and you made chapatis and we all helped you, we mixed the drinks and we did this and that. And then it dawned upon me that it's not about the A's that these children actually attain. It was that little experience of opening up a stall that remained in their mind and became a legacy for them. Small things do matter for children. And with that, I had to change my paradigm of thinking. I said, everything matters to children. With awareness of how students differ in their approaches to learning, the teacher should create instructional opportunities that are adapted to diverse learners. The teacher should understand and can identify. But I'm sure this you will deliberate upon over the next 24 or 36 hours. Another important criterion for a quality teacher is a teacher who meets with the need for deep subject matter knowledge. Teachers should know the substance. They should be able to translate difficult and complex ideas into terms that students can understand, to diagnose students' understanding and sometimes misunderstandings. Finally, teachers should believe that all children can learn at high levels and should persist in helping all children, which is very difficult at times when children have different abilities. In a nutshell, the teacher should identify and design instruction appropriate to students' stages of development, learning styles, strengths, and needs. We have often heard of countries having their tagline, "No child left behind," or "Every child matters." Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, in conclusion, the definitions of quality of teachers, the arguments of what teachers should know and be able to know, has changed over time, as society's values have changed and they will continue to do so. The job of teaching students to learn and use new information, develop and apply skills, and think critically is highly complex and demanding. I've always believed the demand on education has always been very complex. And in that, please allow me to share. One of the most interesting books I found was a book titled The Way Schools Work, written by Bennett and Licong. And in that, they explored the models of curriculum. What are the demands by society on curriculum? Some members of society believe school is from the family of social meliores. Social meliores believe that school is a place to solve social problems. Then you have another family of curricula believers who believe school is from the model of social efficiency, preparing people for work. Whether it's vocational, whether it's technical, or in any other field. So you have the social meliores model, you have the social efficiency model. And there is also another family of curriculum believers who believe that school is for developmentalists. You actually study the development of the child and you find the appropriate instruction to help the child develop according to his or her pace. And finally, the fourth model, the humanistic model, these are the firm believers that education must focus on values from one generation to another. And you always find teachers or members of society complaining, education previously used to be very value-laden and today it has lost. So you have these four families or models that we have to believe in, and that becomes very complex for educationists. Which direction do you take? But I believe finally it's an eclectic approach. You want bits of everything in it. Teachers need a wide range of knowledge, skills, abilities, and dispositions to perform these many complex tasks. I hope, with the presence of our distinguished speakers, thank you for making your way to this part. You are in one of the most beautiful parts of Malaysia. Please enjoy your stay here. I hope that this conference will meet its objectives, that is to propose practical solutions. And with 400 over papers, I think this is a very grand conference. I think let's give a round of applause to the Institute for being able to influence so many people to take part. I hope the conference will also be able to offer solutions that will influence policy change and policy improvement for the benefit of future education. In this spirit, I wish all of you every success in your deliberations and a very pleasant stay on this beautiful island of Penang. With the grace of God, I hereby officially declare the IConFEd 2018 conference open. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Yang Berbahagia Dr. Mahinder Singh, for a very meaningful opening speech just now. And to further embrace the official opening of IConFEd 2018, we would like to once again invite Yang Berbahagia Dr. Mahinder Singh, accompanied by Yang Berbahagia Professor Emeritus Dr. Ibrahim Ahmad Bajonet, and Yang Bursa Dr. Zazali Yusof for the official opening of IConFEd 2018. Yang Berbahagia Dr. Mahinder Singh is now invited to hit the gong 3 times, symbolizing the official opening of our International Conference on the Future Education IConFEd 2018.
Thank you so much, Yang Berbahagia Dr. Mahendra Singh, for officiating the opening of the IConFEd 2018. Our distinguished guests are to remain at the center of stage, and Yang Berbahagia Dr. Mahendra Singh will now have the honor of officiating the book launching ceremony. Thank you very much, Yang Berbahagia Dr. Mahendra Singh, for officiating the book launching ceremony. Ladies and gentlemen, for your information, all the books presented to the Yang Berbahagia Dr. Mahendra Singh this morning are the books published by the Institute of Teacher Education, Tuanku Bainun Campus.
Ladies and gentlemen, next, with great honor, we would like to invite Yang Berusaha Dr. Zazali Yusof, Director, Institute of Teacher Education, Tuanku Bainun Campus, to present the token of appreciation to our distinguished guest, Yang Berbahagia Dr. Mahendra Singh. Thank you so much, Yang Berusaha Dr. Zazali Yusof, for giving away the token of appreciation.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have now come to the end of the official opening ceremony of our IConFEd 2018. Thank you so much for your undivided attention and cooperation throughout the whole ceremony. We would now like to invite the Yang Berbahagia Dr. Mahendra Singh, accompanied by the Yang Berbahagia Professor Emeritus Datuk Dr. Ibrahim Ahmad Bajunid, Yang Berusaha Dr. Zazali Yusof, for refreshments at the VIP dining room. Ladies and gentlemen, as stated in the schedule, our next session will begin at 11 o'clock, and now we will take a short break. So until then, thank you very much and hope to see you again here in the ballroom at 11 o'clock. Thank you very much.